everybody, welcome to my channel Cosmopolitan Lore. This is Kia and I hope you're doing well out there. Today's video is the second installment of our birthday gemstone series. It is the month of February and the gemstone or birthstone of the month is Amethyst. So this look is dedicated to all my February babies out there. Happy birthday. I hope you have had a wonderful birthday, and if your birthday is coming up, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. I'm wishing everybody out there happiness, health, and love. If nobody has told you that they're thankful for you being born, I'm telling you today that I am glad that you were born, and I wish you the happiest, healthiest birthday that you've ever had so far, and I'm wishing you many, many, many more. And special shout out to my current work mom. She just had a milestone birthday, so happy birthday to you. I'm not going to put out any names. And then to my baby sister who turns 24 in a couple of days. She's already celebrating, so happy birthday to my beloved baby sister. I hope both of you lovely ladies have wonderful birthdays and many, many more, and I'm so thankful that you guys are born and that you're in my life, and I just love you guys with all my heart. So if you want to know how I achieved this look, keep on watching. So as always, first we're going to start with our lip scrub or just any type of lip moisturizer. This time we're going to be using our FENTY lip scrub, and I always use some sort of lip moisturizer or lip scrub and let it sit on my lips while I am doing the rest of my face so my lips can get moisturized and peel if they need to, which is highly likely. And I apologize if I'm looking over here. I have my camera set up landscape instead of portrait, so I'm trying to figure out where to look in the camera so that I'm facing you all. And then for primer this time, the majority of this video is going to be all new products that I haven't tried before. Not every single thing is going to be new, but a lot of the products are going to be new. So it's going to be a first impressions along with a gemstone tutorial. So we're going to be learning some exciting things together this video. So the primer I'm going to use for this video is the new Huda Beauty Jelly Primer. And this is supposed to be a hydrating primer, so I'm excited to use it. It is the winter time, and in North Carolina we've been having some pretty chilly weather. It's very watery in consistency. You can see it moving on my hands, so I'm just going to rub it together. It feels very much like a serum. So most primers are like a gel-like consistency or like a lotion consistency. I don't know if I've ever had a primer this fluid or water-like, but I'm not mad at it. That makes me feel like it's really going to be infusing moisture into my skin. And so I'm just going to pat it in my skin and down to my neck, and it doesn't dry down immediately. It's a little tacky, which is good when you want your makeup to stick. The texture kind of reminds me of the Milk Hydro Grip, and I didn't quite like that. It was a little bit too thick and tacky for me. This one is watery, but it still has that same tackiness feel or sticky feel on the face. So I'm just gonna let that sit and melt into my skin and talk to you guys for a little bit. So I hope you all are doing well. If anybody out there knows a good lotion that the first ingredient is not water, please DM me or react to this story, send me a link to their Instagram page or something. Let me know, reach out to me. My skin is so dry and I'm so tired of going to the store, and every time I pick up a lotion, the first ingredient is water. And I'm like, I love water. I drink water multiple times a day. I drink a lot of water during the day. I don't want to put any more water on top of my skin. I have a whole shower to do that, so I really need some moisture infused back into my skin. So if you know anything, any lotion brands, let me know. All right, so that's had a couple of moments to go into the skin. My skin is still a little bit tacky, so I think the foundation will stick very well. And so to keep going along with Huda Beauty today, I'm going to be trying their Luminous Faux Filter foundation. I have the color Churro. So it's a luminous matte. So what they're essentially saying is going to give you a little bit of a glow, but it's going to dry down primarily matte. So to me, the middle would be like a satin looking finish. I have their first one, which is the Faux Filter, which is straight matte. It did have a scent, a very perfumey scent, and it was very, very thick in consistency. So I had no issues. I thought my skin would react poorly to the fragrance in it, but I didn't have any skin reactions whatsoever. The scent was a little overwhelming when you first put it on, but for me, it just wore off, or I just forgot about it. I never really had an issue with the scent. So this one is supposed to no longer have a fragrance. It's still a thick formula, but it's not supposed to be pore clogging or anything of that nature. So they listened to what a lot of consumers were saying about the first version and then came out with this new version of it that's also luminous. So if you didn't like the first one, you might actually like this one. So we're going to try it out. And today I'm going to be using the new the camo concealer sponge from e.l.f. So I've been hearing a lot of rage about this on Instagram, YouTube. Everybody seems to love this sponge. I personally prefer my Sonia Kashuk sponges. That's been my favorite one so far. In my latest videos, I've been using a brush for foundation. That's just the mood that I've been in, but Sonia Kashuk's sponges have long been my favorites. So I'm trying something new today. It's dry. I'm going to wet it and use that to apply my foundation. And that's a trick to know, that if you want your foundation to be a little bit thinner, apply it with a wet sponge. If you want your foundation to be a bit thicker or in its original consistency, then you can use a dry sponge to apply it. So I'm gonna wet this and then I'll start the application process. So one thing I can say about this sponge immediately is that it's definitely very, very soft. So if you want a sponge that's very, very soft to the touch, this might be one that you like. I kind of prefer my sponges to be in the middle, somewhat firm and then somewhat soft. This is a bit soft for my liking, but again, we're trying new things and we'll see how the look turns out. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop the drop the drops on my, oh, let me shake it up first, hold on. Okay, so I'm going to start off with 2 pumps of the foundation and see how that goes. And in the original formula, I had, what was the color? Brown Sugar, which is 410. And so this is the next shade up. They actually created a new shade, Churro, which is 415, and then they have Toffee, which I think is 420. So to me, when I was using Brown Sugar, it was a little bit light on me, and then I did go and purchase Toffee, and Toffee was okay. It was a little, it was a little off, but it's me looking at my skin versus somebody else looking at my skin. So, you know, in general, we're our own worst critics when it comes to how things should look on the skin. So Churro was a new color that came out when they made their stick concealer. And Churro is in between. Ooh. I like the way my skin looks. I like that quite a bit. Churro is in between Brown Sugar 410 and then Toffee, which is 420. So that's why I decided to get this color. I don't know why it's not cooperating with me. It doesn't want to come out the bottle. Jeez, okay, let me shake some more. Okay. Okay, there we go. Jeez, okay. So I fully expect this foundation to cover every single blemish that I have on my face, just because I've used the first formula before and I should have no blemishes, no spots showing through on my skin. So this is quite warm. This is neutral. I actually quite like this color. The brown sugar, or was it macchiato? It was brown sugar. Brown sugar was gold. It was a golden undertone. And as I've gone through foundations over the years, I used to naturally gravitate towards golden undertones. I knew pink undertones didn't work for me. I always felt like I had a golden undertone, but I've noticed that I feel like olive undertones look better on me, or neutral undertones look better on me than golden undertones. I really like olive undertones the best. I feel like it gives me the color match that I'm looking for. The golden ones are sometimes hit or miss. It's enough for me to notice the difference, but you know, once you put on all your other toppings, concealer and bronzer and setting powder and all of that, you can't really tell. But so to me, this is too dark. If we're looking at my neck down here and my skin here, I probably should have got brown sugar again. And this, but they have a chart that says if you were brown sugar in the original to use this one. So, I mean, I like the color. I'm just looking in a different mirror here. I like the color, but this would definitely be a summertime color. This would not be a winter color at all. But I like the coverage. I do feel like I look a little orange, but I'm not mad about it. I like the coverage that it's given. This sponge is a little small. Well, it's supposed to be a concealer sponge anyway, so it's supposed to just fit here, but people have been using it for all over the face. And most of the time I don't use damp sponges. I usually just use a dry sponge. So I really like the finish, and this is what I was saying by the finish. Is not going to be matte. There's still some luminosity to my skin. It's not like dewy luminosity, but it's still like a nice little even sheen. So this would be like a satin finish to me. Okay, so I'm just gonna give a once all over again of everything. So yep, I like the coverage. The color probably need to go down a shade so it's not as dark, but you live and you learn, you guys. I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Concealer in Cookie Dough. This is 14 Neutral or 14N. I have definitely used this before. A little bit of this goes a long way. It's a very heavy duty concealer. And so the trick that people are doing right now is to let the concealer dry down before you start actually blending it in up under your eyes, because that's where you want the most coverage. So you let it dry down more in the areas that you want more coverage, and then the areas where you just want to bring some light to your face. So everywhere where you would just highlight, essentially, you go ahead and blend that out. Okay, so my video stopped recording while I was talking. So yeah, luckily I noticed it before I got too far, but literally all I did is I just went and got a little beauty sponge. This is a mini sponge by Mary Kay. It was one of their holiday sponges. And so all I did was blend out these areas around my chin that I had put down. Excuse me, that I had put down, and then across my forehead here, this part up under my eye has been sitting. So this sponge is dry. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. And I think this should be done with a hydrating concealer. This concealer is not hydrating per se. It's more of a coverage. It's more of a coverage concealer. So yeah. So if you're going to let your concealer dry down, use a hydrating one. Don't use one that's very, very thick and dries down very quickly, because you won't be able to blend it out. So I look very highlighted right now, but my concealer hasn't went hardly anywhere. Well, it's blended out, but yeah. Okay, so I need to fix this a bit because I'm not a fan of how this is looking. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm just taking my sponge that had the foundation on it and trying to go in and kind of go over it. It's a little bit too light right in that area for me. And I'm not a person who likes a super, super bright concealer. So, okay. So we're going to clean this up. So I'm just going to take some and put directly on my sponge here and just kind of place it where I want it to go. So, and again, a little bit goes a long way. So I'm literally just going right in this area with my nose. So this will help with the contour of the nose. And then placement over here, you don't necessarily need to bring it down in this area because you only want it up under your eyes, essentially where you have discoloration in your dark circles. That's really what concealer is meant to cover up, other than just bringing light to the face. So all right, I think that's a little bit better. Okay, so I'm putting just a dab more. And since this is my own personal stuff, I can do this. I would never, ever do this to a client. I would put the concealer on a mixing spatula or a mixing palette and pick up the product from there, but never put the sponge directly on the actual product itself, like the container of the product. That's contamination. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in and go over these areas. I want a little bit more highlight, so just going in and pressing it into the skin. So you just have to adjust your makeup applications with your product sometimes. Like this concealer is not a concealer where you can let it sit on the face. It dries down very, very quickly, and it's not a moisturizing concealer, meaning that it can dry you out a little bit, so you have to move quickly with it. And yeah. And because this concealer is so thick, I don't use it that often. The majority of HUDA's foundations and concealers are on the thicker side, except her foundation stick, which I have, and I haven't used it. I just ordered these items not too long ago, and I hadn't had a chance to use them. And I'm just gonna go around my mouth in this area. Bring some light in there. Okay. So I like how that looks. I'm just gonna go over again with my foundation sponge and blend out any harsh lines. I'm adjusting to this camera placement, so I feel like I can't see as well with this setup yet, or I haven't learned the angles to be able to see as well yet. So that's a trick you can do if you have poor lighting wherever you are and you can't really see everything that you're doing. You can just take the sponge that you have with your foundation and kind of go over everywhere that you have placed your concealer. You generally know where you stop putting the concealer and just kind of blend those edges in so you don't have harsh lines in between your foundation and your concealer. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to bronze, and I'm going to use my old standard Fenty Beauty bronzer. So yeah, we'll be using our old standby, our Fenty Beauty bronzer. Ugh, the top of it is dirty. At least you know it's well loved. And I'm just gonna put some warmth in the skin. And because we're doing amethyst, I think amethyst is such a light and ethereal lilac purple color. It's not lilac, it's not as light as lilac, but it's not as deep as like purple, like the hoodie that I have on. So to me, amethyst is right in that middle. It's a nice, serene, very ethereal looking color. So I don't want my makeup to be super heavy today, but I'm kind of in the middle about what kind of look I want to do. I kind of want to do a nice, elegant look, and then I kind of want to do like a deeper, fun look. I haven't decided which one I want to do just yet. And essentially I'm using the Fenty Beauty 190 bronzer brush, and I'm literally just putting the brush on the high point of my cheek and brushing inward. And again, I typically only go into about the the middle part of my eye, and then just take the remainder and go around the perimeter of my forehead. And you don't want to bring your bronzer so far in, because you want to have your face have symmetry, but you don't want it to be so closed in. You don't want your face to be so tight. You still want to have your face shape, what most people do. And one of the things I learned about bronzing is you're supposed to, so typically what we do is we use bronzer in place of contour. I just recently learned where you place bronzer and contour are two different places apparently, because of the function that they have. And I've said this before on my channel, that bronzing is really to bring color back to your skin after you've put on foundation, because foundation really evens you out. And so it gives you one color all over your face, which is one of the reasons you go in with concealer. You want to brighten up those areas, and then you go in with bronzer to give you that more sun-kissed look, you know, to put color the dimension that you naturally have in your face back into your look. And contour is to increase the shadows on your face to give you a more sculpted look. So realistically, you're supposed to be applying bronzer up here where you would normally put like your blush. And you know, when you do it around the perimeter is where the sun naturally hits your face. And right now I feel like I've been out in the sun. This is what my skin complexion would typically look like when I've gotten a tan, which I absolutely miss, having a tan. So today I applied it a little bit higher than I usually would. I would be like right in this area, but today I applied it a little bit higher, so that's why you can kind of see it closer up here. So when I learn new things, I share them with you all. And with this foundation, I feel like it's gripping all of my powder products very, very well, because I use this bronzer all the time. And this is one of the few times where I feel like I can really see the color picked up on my skin. When I put it on, it's just like a nice flush of bronze, but today I feel like I really can see an intense bronze on my face in comparison to what it usually looks like. So I like it. I'm not mad at it at all. So I'm going to contour my nose, and I'm going to use my trusted Real Techniques eyeshadow brush, but like I always say, I feel like it fits perfectly in my nose area, so that's what I'm going to use it for. And I'm still using that same Fenty bronzer. I'm using the color Caramel Cutie, just to go in and contour my nose. Ooh, I was a little heavy-handed on the other side. And literally, I'm just going to take the brush and go over this line that I created until it is in the likeness that I want. And then I just do this little line across the top of my nose that gives me the appearance of having a little button, a little tip at the end. And it's amazing what you can create playing with shadows and light, how you can change your whole face shape depending on how you bronze and or contour your face. And with contour, because it's typically darker and cooler, your shadows, you will be more intense. So it's warm, and typically bronzers run warm and contour runs cool. I just look very bronzed and sun-kissed right now. If this was contour, my face would look very, very chiseled. Like my cheeks would look all the way up. Well, not all the way up there, but it would be a this would be very hollow looking. Like all of this would disappear. So that's the difference in appearance that contour and bronzing is going to give you. You can still achieve some of that look with bronzer, but I just feel like it's less harsh with bronzer than it is with contour. Now that I have my bronzer on, I'm going to go ahead and set my face. And for the powder, the setting powder that I'm going to use today, I'm going to use the Beauty Bakery Flower setting powder, and I'm going to use the color Cassava, which is yellow. I'm going to use that up under my eyes to kind of offset the, it's really bright up under my eyes. I'm not used to my under eyes being this bright. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. So that's a trick that you can do if you feel, and I'm struggling here trying to get this paper off because this is brand new. if you feel like you've used a concealer that's a little bit too light for you and you're not quite sure how you feel about it, you can use a yellow setting powder, or if you have a deeper skin tone, you can use a more deeper, medium deep powder. You still want to retain some of the lightness, but if it's too bright for you, you can go in with a yellow powder or a medium tone powder to kind of tone down that brightness some. So as you can see, even though this is supposed to be yellow, it's still pretty white, which would be translucent. So it's just got a tiny yellow tint to it. So we're going to put this on. So I'm just going to use my sponge and dip into it. And this is dry. I'm just going to place it delicately right in that area. Okay. It's very finely milled, so the powder itself is very thin, very veil-like, which I like. Okay, I like that. I like the way that looks. I was afraid it was going to make it look super white up under there, but I feel like it just made it look very flawless. Like, I like that. And this is a new powder. I have never used this. Beauty Bakery has been a beauty brand that's been on my list for a long time to purchase something from. I just never had got around to it. And since this is Black History Month, I'm going to be doing a video later when all of my items get here for Black-owned brands, Black-owned beauty brands, and I'm going to do a tutorial on Black-owned beauty brands, do a full face with Black-owned beauty brands. So this is one of their items that they're known for, is their baking, or excuse me, I won't say baking powder, but their loose setting powder. This is one of the items that they're known for and people really like from the brand. So I was like, you know what? Let me get this and try it out. And I actually really like it. And they do have a color that's actually a white translucent powder. So they actually have one that's white, not this tinted yellow color. I'm pleasantly surprised. I was expecting it to be more yellow, but I'm not upset with how it looks. And for me, I just press my powder into the skin. Really what makes your makeup look flawless and blend in well with your skin is when you use your powders and you press it into the skin. That's what gives you that airbrushed, flawless finish that people have. And so that's why I'm just pressing into the skin so it can meld into my skin, just melt in there. And that's also one of the reasons, if you follow me, and I'm just taking the sponge now, whatever is left on it, and just pressing it in into the areas where I would sweat. So for me, I sweat above my lip, right in the crease. My nose crease is here. My makeup tends to kind of crack or dry up in that area, and then right around my lips where you have smile lines. So I'm just pressing powder in there to capture those areas where I know they can be a little bit of a problem area for me. All right. And so now I like the way that looks. So my all over face powder that I'm going to use today is the FENTY Setting Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Setting Powder, and I'm going to use the color Honey as my all over face setting color. And I'm just going to take the setting brush, the 170 Fenty Beauty setting brush, and I'm literally just going to pick it up. I keep the little seal that comes on the that comes on the powder, I actually, every time after I use it, I put the powder back on, or excuse me, the seal back on the back on top of the powder so it can keep its freshness. And I just put this powder all over my face. And just brush it in. I think I look pretty airbrushed myself. And then I'm just going to go in with my first round of setting spray to set everything in place. Okay. So for today's setting spray, I'm going to be using the Beauty Bakery Always Sweet Grace setting spray. So again, this is my first time using it. I'm reading the instructions. It says to shake well. And I'm just going to see what, and I don't know if you can see it, but this is a very, very fine mist. This is the first setting spray that I have ever had that was a mist. Every setting spray that I've had has been like a spray bottle, like with like huge droplets that fall on your face, and I don't like that feeling. But I'm gonna try to spray my face like everybody does with this mist and see how I like it. I still don't like it. I still don't like it. So I'm just gonna take my beauty sponge and press it into the skin. Now, if you wonder why I press my setting spray into my skin, it helps to mesh all of your beauty products that you have on your face down in there, so it gives you a more finished look, more airbrushed. Also, it helps to press the the spray into your skin, so your makeup is going to last a lot longer versus just kind of letting it sit on the skin. This is it is a fine mist. I just really don't like the feeling of just spraying wet stuff on my face. So I will go back to typically spraying my sponge and then just pressing it into my skin that way. And I'll do the same thing where I put my powder in the areas where I know, because I sweat very, very easily. So areas where I sweat, I make sure to give them extra attention with powder and with the setting spray, just so it can last longer and not crease if possible in those areas. But I must say I really do like how my makeup is looking today. It's a little bit lighter up under my eyes than I would prefer, but that probably will even out with all of our eyeshadow and whatnot that we're going to do. So definitely a different look for me than what I'm used to so far. So we're going to go ahead on and put on our eyeshadow primer. Today I'm going to use the FENTY Amplifying Eye Primer. This is the first time that I'm using this, so I've seen that a lot of people like it, but it's much thinner than the primers that I'm used to. Most of the primers that I usually use are thicker. This one is thin in comparison, but I can manipulate it easier. It's not getting as tacky as fast as the other ones. I feel like I can use a little bit more. And whenever I do this, I always go all the way up to my eyebrow. Most of the time I don't put eyeshadow all the way up to my eyebrow, but I do it excuse me, I do it just in case I have a moment where I do want to put some highlight up under my eyebrows and it'll already be there versus me having to rush and put it there. So again, this month we're going to be using the BH Cosmetics Gemstone palettes. Make sure I said that right. Yep. Oh, I'm gonna say they're birthday gemstone palettes, and so for the month of February they have an amethyst palette. So this is what we're going to be using. I believe in last month's video I misquoted and said that these were $7, but the palette is actually $9. So to me it's still a good price for what you get. This is how the kit looks. You get 7 colors. Let me just flip this top part back here so you don't get blinded. And right here, the biggest color is always going to be the birthstone for that month. So this is the color Amethyst. And I actually like this color for Amethyst. Last month for Garnet, I was like, that is not Garnet. It was very pink to me, but this month, this looks to be spot on for Amethyst. And they have some complementary colors over here. I actually like this color story. Just looking at it off the bat, I feel like you can do multiple eye looks with this. If you're a person who likes mattes, you have quite a few mattes, 4 mattes to play with, and they're all relatively complementary to each other. And then you have this pressed glitter. And if this is the same consistency for last month, this is mostly glitter, but I do like the fact that it is a rose gold with purple flecks in it. So I do like that. And then you have this, it looks more of like an icy blue, like a lilac icy blue color. So yep, so that's Rebel. So you have Humble, Rebel, Little Sexy, Superstitious, Clever AF, and then you have Daredevil right here. And of course, this is Amethyst. So today, I kind of want to do a fox eye. And I think I have 2 different looks going on in my head. So I want to film both of them. We'll see which one makes it to the final cut, or if I just divide this up into 2 videos and see what goes from there. I probably should swatch these and see what they look like on my skin. Let's do that. And I typically don't like doing swatches because I feel like it kind of wastes time a little bit, but we're going to do swatches just so I can have an idea. So this is the color Humble. And clearly my face is much darker than mine. Okay, let's do it on this side. So as you can see, it really is kind of just like a wash of color on my skin, even on this side. So this is Rebel, the blue color. Okay, so this shows up more blue. It looks like a lilac blue color, but it looks more blue. Then Little Sexy here, here is kind of like I like that. It's a pinky purple color. And then we're going to do this color here, Superstitious. And these colors look a lot more pink on camera, but in person they're a lot more purple. So that's just the lighting. So this is a deeper purple. Oop. Little Sexy looks like the deeper one, and this looks more like a pastel purple pink color. Then we're going to do this brownish purple color, Clever AF. And I'm just going to swipe that over here. So that's that color. These are not at all swatching how they look in the pan. And then we're going to take Daredevil, this glitter color here. Ooh, that's what it looks like. I'm just going to go right. So it's definitely that rose gold color with flecks of purple in it. This definitely does have the same texture. It's mostly glitter. So yeah. So oh, and I forgot to do Amethyst, the main attraction of the show. Completely forgot Amethyst. That's actually my favorite color in the pan. Yeah, I like that color. Okay. It's almost the same color as my sweatshirt. So let's see how to incorporate this. So what I'm thinking, let me switch my brush. So we're going to take our E37 Morphe pencil brush and we're going to go into the color Amethyst. And I think I want to give myself, try to do a fox eye with this. We'll see how that goes. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm just rolling the pencil brush around in the Amethyst color, tapping off the excess. And I'm just going to extend, draw myself a line, extending my natural waterline upward. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Make sure they look even. And then I'm just going to swoop that into my crease. Pick up a little bit more and swoop, if I can get it to go, into my crease area. And I have hooded eyes, so I already know that it's gonna go a little bit above in order for you to be able to see the color. And so I want that to have a natural connecting line. And this is what I've been doing these days. Instead of using like actual eyeliner, I've just been taking a darker color and using it as eyeliner. Product placement makes a difference. And then I'm literally just going to blend. I'll get a different brush and start blending it inwards. Trying to get them even here. Ow, just stabbed myself in the eye. Ow, that hurt. And so now I'm switching over to an eye smudger brush. This is a Mary Kay eye smudger brush, literally. And there's no product on there. And I'm just going to take that. And you can use any bullet size brush that you have. And I'm just going to start smudging that color. And a lot of times when you see this look, people use like a eyeliner pencil to do this, and then they smudge with like an eyeshadow on top of it. I don't have a eyeliner pencil this color, but you can still have the same effect with a brush. It just takes a little bit more time and patience. And if you make a mistake, you can always go in with some concealer and go in and clean up your lines after. So whenever you're doing a smoked out look with a color, it looks scary at first. This side over here looks much more controlled than this side, which I find tends to happen. My second eye always looks better than my first eye because I'm trying to figure out what to do on the first eye, and then by the time I go to my second eye, you can tell I had more control over it because I knew exactly what I was doing by that time frame. All right, so I'm gonna pick up a little bit more and bring it up on this side. I feel like this one is more smoky. Actually, I haven't had, other than these palettes, I don't think I've had BH Cosmetics eyeshadows before, and they're actually performing much better than I thought they were. I thought, because you know, a lot of times your eyeshadow, depending on the price point, it may not perform, or it might be a little bit harder to work with, but these are actually pretty decent. They're doing pretty well as far as blendability. It's not necessarily the easiest, but it's still giving me decent color payoff. So that's what we look like for now. And then I'm going to take a flat BH Cosmetics shader brush. This is brush number 7, but again, it was part of a set, so I don't remember what set it was. And I'm just going to go in here and just pack this color right here in the corner. And essentially what I'm going to do is blend these colors into each other and have like a little gradient, so it won't just be this harsh purple line. And then I'm going to wipe off this brush. And then I'm going to go into the color Superstitious, this color right here, and pick that up. And then we're going to put that on the first third of the lid. I'm just wiping it off because I'm wondering if I should have gone in with Clever AF. Let me see what Clever AF looks like on the other side. Yeah, I should have did Clever AF. I think the Superstitious is a little bit more intense than what I was going for. So I'm just going, I do like the blend that it had though. So I'm just going to go in and wipe off Superstitious and go over it with Clever AF. So in order to make them look even, I'm gonna go over this one with Superstitious and then go over top of it with Clever AF. Yep, there we go. Because I don't want it to be so many colors on top of each other, but I still want all of the colors to be seen. So I'm just gonna take Little Sexy again, make sure all the colors are there, and do a better blend this time. Then wipe that off. And then just do a little bit of Superstitious in the middle. Just a tiny bit. And then wipe that off the brush. I wasn't trying to do that much of an intense look, but it ended up turning out much more intense than I had planned. And then I'm gonna go in with Clever AF and then just go in over the front part. Okay, and then I'm actually going to take some concealer and clean up these lines around here because it just looks like I got punched in the face right here. So I'm going to clean up that line with some concealer. And I probably should have did my eyes first instead of doing my foundation first, but c'est la vie. So I'm literally just taking a flat shader brush and taking my concealer, and I'm just cleaning up that line right there. There we go. And then just doing the same on this side. So we have that sharp line right there. And if you have any fallout, like I see a couple of little sparkles here, you can take a big fluffy brush, any brush that's fluffy like this, and just lightly sweep. I didn't realize it was gonna have so much fallout. The other palette didn't have fallout like this. I would have did my eyes first. So that's something to be mindful of. All right. And then I might go back in and just put some more powder. As you can see, I have a little stain in here from the eyeshadow, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I just tapped a little bit in my lid, and I'm just gonna go back on my sponge here and kind of dab right up under there to get rid of any darkness from, there we go. And that's one thing to be said about a powder. If you can kind of go back over your area. Sometimes with powders, once you put them on, you can't go back over your area because it'll be too thick or too drying. This is so finely milled that you can go over your area and then, you know, just press it back into the skin like we did before. And boom, there we go. So this top part is looking a little bit harsh for my liking, so I'm blowing off the palette. I would never do this, that's so unsanitary, but this is mine. I'm gonna go into this color Humble with a fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go in and soften up that harsh line up there. And when we did our swatches, we saw that that was it's pretty much like a buffing color, to be honest. You can go in and diffuse. Some harsh lines with it. Now, if you're deeper, you might need to go into another palette and get a transition color that's closer to your skin tone to be able to go in and buff out this harsh line. But we still have our clean shape here, and that gives you the appearance of a lifted eye. I actually like that buffing effect. You can still see the color kind of blending in from over here up into my brow area, which I actually like. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with some mascara. I don't think we necessarily need any eyeliner. If you want eyeliner, you can add it. So I'm going to show you what the look will look like with just mascara. So if you don't want to do false lashes, you just want to put on some mascara. Today I'm using the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High. This has been all the rage on Instagram, and people are talking about it all over YouTube. So I picked up some from CVS when I was in there the other day, and we're gonna see why people love it so much. Oh, I like that. I can actually see lift when you have deeper colors on your eyes, like purples and brown and blacks, and sometimes browns. If you're using deeper colored browns, your real lashes can get lost in the sauce. So that's why you see a lot of people wearing fake lashes, so you can actually see your actual lashes on them. And I can see my lashes very well with just one coat. Let me try to get my little imaginary bottom ones down here. They never want to cooperate. They just like fading into the background, and most of the time I get mascara on my waterline. Okay, I can actually see them. I'm excited. Most of the time when I put mascara on my bottom lashes, y'all, it's a whole scene. So that's why I don't do it too often in my videos. Or if I do, I'll do it off camera, because usually I get a big glob somewhere and then have to wipe it off and reapply, and it's just a whole big mess. That was relatively easy. So that's one coat. So let's try coat number 2. It's making my lashes curl too. It's not just giving me length, they're definitely curling. Oh, I like that. If my eyeshadow wasn't so pigmented, you would be able to see my lashes really well. I don't know how well they're coming across on camera, but okay, I thought I got some on my face. Oh, I like that a lot. That kind of makes me rethink about putting fake lashes on. So you guys, I see why people are talking about it all over the internet and Instagram. For a drugstore, this was $11 with tax. At CVS, it was like $10.27 in CVS, and then $11 roughly with taxes. So I did see it. A friend and I were talking on the phone last night, and she likes the Manga Lash by L'Oreal, and they discontinued it here in the US. And so she was looking for another mascara, and I was telling her that this was all the rage right now, but I hadn't tried it. I'll let her know. So, Mia, this is me trying it out. What do you think? I'm here for this. The fact that I can see my bottom lashes, I can see my top lashes, you know, I'm happy about that. But the fact that I was able to put mascara on my bottom lashes and it didn't become a whole crime scene, I didn't destroy my makeup up under, I am happy. I could stop right here. I really could. Can I? What happens if I add another coat? I probably should stop while I'm ahead. That's been today's whole video. Stop while you're ahead. I just want to keep going. Okay, you guys. So that is the Sky High Lashes by Maybelline. Y'all came through on this one. I like this. It's interesting how much you learn from the internet, how much information you can find out from the internet. I'm a fan. I'm having an internal conflict, y'all, because I don't want to put on fake lashes. I like how my lashes look, but I feel like they're getting lost. Like, I can see them, and I know the mascara worked very, very well, but I still feel like they're getting lost in the sauce, and I want to put on lashes just to give me some solidification on my eyelashes. I wish the lighter colors in the palette would have been lighter, because they looked different but came on much more pigmented than I was expecting. And typically I don't put on mascara before I do lashes. It's always extra hard for me to put on lashes if I put on mascara first. Everybody else puts on mascara, and it works for them, but for me it doesn't work. So final look. So I'm just going to push my lashes up so they'll be more curled upwards than they already are. I spent all the time talking, so I probably should have did this instead of talking so much. But yeah, just pushing them up. So this is the look for February. Well, eyeshadow look. Blush today, we're going to be using the Saharan Blush Palette 1. Volume 1 from Juvia's Place. And I'm going to use, oh no, this isn't the one I meant. Hold on. Okay, so the blush that we're going to use today is the Saharan Blush Volume 2 from Juvia's Place. And the color that we're going to be using today is B, right here. And I'm just going to take a fluffy brush here. This is the BH Cosmetics collaboration with Ray Ray. It's my Ray Ray number 3. Ray Ray, sorry. And I'm just going to tap in there, and I'm trying a different method this time. I'm going to start from the back and bring it up on top of where I have my my bronzer this time. If you all know me, usually I'm here and going back here, but like I said, I've learned some new techniques and trying them out, see how I like them. And apparently this is supposed to give you a more natural looking flushed look. I'm not mad about it. And then people bring it across their nose here, and then bring a little bit up there. It's okay, but I still want some on my cheeks. This is my first time I've had this palette for a while. This is the first time that I've actually used this blush palette, and I actually really like this color. That's a nice flush in the berry family, so I actually really like that. And then there's this little shimmer here. I'm actually going to use that for my highlight today. So I'm just going to take that same brush and I'm going to do the same thing, except this time I'm just going to tap, 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 tap over that same area. Pick up a little bit more. Tap, 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 tap over that same area. Now that shows up more than the actual blush itself. I like that. I like that a lot. And so I'm just going to wipe off the brush, get off any excess, and just kind of blend all that in. Just so it's not a harsh line or anything of that nature. I like that. I like that quite a bit. So very simple. And then now I'm going to go do my brows. So today I'm trying a new brow pencil. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Brow MVP. I have the color black brown or brown black. This is what it looks like. On the front end, it has the little brow pencil, and then on the other end it has a brush, but this is a very different brush than what I'm used to. I'm used to the spoolie. So another learning curve today. So I'm just going to brush my eyebrows. Interesting. I'm not mad about this brush. I'm just not used to it. I feel like my eyebrows sound really bad on camera. I don't know if you can hear them, but I can hear them. So I was kind of concerned when I saw the brush, because I was like, how am I going to shape my eyebrows? But it still functions just like a spoolie. I feel like the difference is, though, my eyebrows are they don't get as separated. My eyebrow hairs don't get as separated as they would with the spoolie. So just brushing my eyebrows with this brush makes them look like they're done. This one over here, though, is a little less sparse. Let me move these hairs around here. There we go, they look more even. But this eyebrow over here, you can tell is less, it's less sparse. It's more sparse on this side than it is this side. So I actually like the brush. Like, I feel like my eyebrow, this eyebrow to me looks done except for these little gaps right here. So let's see how this works. I'm a fan of the brush. So let me just go in with the pencil, and I'm just gonna go in and fill in those gaps. I'm not going to change anything about the shape. I'm really just going to use this brush to fill in, or excuse me, this pencil to fill in. Not mad about it. And this, you don't use a lot of product. I'm just using light feather, light strokes. So just kind of flicking it through. But I know some pencils that are softer, so even these light movements use up, it's so soft it uses up quite a bit of the pencil itself. And I haven't hardly worn any other product down in this, on the tip that I pulled up with this pencil. So, oh wow. And apologies if you can hear my cat hollering in the background. She's right outside my door. Oh, wow. I like that. When I looked at the brush, I was like, oh, I'm not going to like this because I'm so used to my spoolie, but there is excitement in learning how to use something. I'm a creature of habit, so the only thing that I really like trying out different are foundations, primers, and eyeshadows. I don't like new brushes. I don't like new brow products. And I like changing lipsticks and lip glosses. Okay. Let me fix this arch right here. I feel like I need to fill this in just a little bit more so they're even. Okay, so I can tell a difference though when you don't have little brow hairs and you just have like the brush itself. Filling in, I really like it. When there's no hairs to fill in, not sure if I'm a fan of that. And it could, again, this is my first time using it, so I gotta figure out how to use it best for me. But okay, that looks better. All right. Okay, I like that. My eyebrows look even. My eyebrows look even. I like that. And that was significantly faster than it would have been with my spoolie using everything else that I usually, my Benefit Cosmetics, it would have took much longer. So right now, I'm just going to wipe off the lip scrub that I had on earlier. lips must have been super dry because this is the first time that I have rubbed off that lip scrub and I did not have dead skin come off. So I'm going to do 2 different lip looks. I'm going to do a nude one first, and then I'm going to do a darker lip color after, just so you can have a difference. I might do 3. I had 3 options and I couldn't decide which ones I wanted to use. So I'm going to show you all 3 because you may fall in the middle. You might not want a nude, but you might not want something so dark either. So I'll show you all 3. So for the first lip, I'm going to do a nude. So I'm going to use the Juvia's Place Luxe Lip Liner in So Rare. You can go ahead and line my lips. And in general, I'm not a lip liner person, but part of that was because I could never find the right color lip liner for me. I always used to have to use a eyeliner to be the right color liner. They were always, the lip liners are always so dark. Like, I don't like super dark lip liners. Like, for me, this is dark enough, but all of the rest of them were still too dark to my liking. And so when Juvia's Place came out with their lip liners, I was like, this looks like a really light brown. Let me try it. And I have loved the lip liner ever since. I'm going to use their lipstick color in the color Muted. And this is kind of like a cool toned brown taupey color. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my lips. And I thought this would be a nice color in contrast with everything going on. And it almost gives me kind of like a purplish brown tone a little bit. So that's one of the reasons why I did lip liner with it, so it wouldn't be so cool. So this is look 1. And I'll come back with myself all put together with the lip, and then we can try on all the different lip colors and see which ones you guys like best. I'll be back in a second. All right, you guys, this is what the look looks like. What do you guys think with the nude lip? All right, so I took off the first lip, and the next lip is going to be the Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink in the color Creator. So I originally wanted to use the Kat Von D, I can't remember, the Everlasting lip color in the color Love, but the one that I had was so old. Like, I just felt like I would be giving myself a bacterial infection if I put it on my lips. And then when I went to go purchase another, the color had been discontinued. So I really liked that color, so I didn't wear it that much except for special occasions. But yeah, I'm upset that they discontinued it. But this is like an exact dupe to that color. So again, this is the color Creator. I picked it up at CVS. I happened to go in there the other day and I was just looking through their stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, this color is a dupe. So I had to get it. And this was the color that I wanted to use for the tutorial. But I wasn't sure how the eyeshadows would necessarily look with this color. But I think the eyeshadows complement it well. So I think this is a color, if you don't necessarily want a nude and you want something to give you a pop of color and it's not too much, and it's also in the purple, and well, I wouldn't say this is in the Amethyst family, but I think it will mesh well with all the colors. So this is lip 2. And I actually like this. Even though it says it's a matte, it doesn't really come through like a matte. It's kind of like the foundation is like a satin finish. So you see I still have this little shine. It does dry down and it feels matte, but you're still left with the residual satin looking shine to it. Not like a glossy shine, but just enough to give you a hint of hitting the light per se. So, but once it does dry down, it does not move. You have to put a lip scrub on your lip, excuse me, to remove it. So just be mindful that these lip colors from Maybelline do stay. They will not rub off up under your mask. I actually tested this. I tried the color on like right after I bought it with no makeup, sat down, let it dry down, and your lips don't feel dry. And I was like, let me see if it transferred on my mask. And I just put a mask on. I had let it sit for maybe like 15 minutes though. So I would say before you put on a mask, let it sit for 15 minutes or so to make sure it's dry. And I rubbed my mask all across of it and nothing came off. I was really, really shocked. And on your lips itself, it doesn't feel like it's completely dried down, but it's just the moisture that it leaves behind on your lips. So it's matte satin, and your lips won't feel dry. So that much I can say. So I'll probably be going back to purchase some more colors like this. These will definitely be if I go home to go see my family, you know, once we're able to travel again. I'd probably pop in the store and pick up any one of these colors. If I wanted a color for myself, this would probably be what I would go to the store and get. I know that I can pick up a color. I know that it's going to stay. I'm not going to have to reapply. So yeah, I really like this. All right, you guys, last and final shade. It is going to be After Party from Huda Beauty. Hold on, from Huda Beauty, so After Party. And the color of the tube gives you an idea of the color. So for all of you gals or guys out there who like deep colors, darker colors, you don't want to wear nude, you're not really into bright colors per se, this will be the color for you. And it has some glitter in it, so if you're not a glitter fan, it won't be for you, but how pretty is that? It almost matches our eyeliner, eyeshadow eyeliner. And so we'll go ahead and put it on. All right. What do you guys think? So this is definitely something festive. This would be more for an evening look, I would think, or if you wanted to wear it wherever you wanted to, wherever. But I love this color. This would definitely be something I would wear to a party. I'm a person who likes color. I'm not really a fan of nude lips. However, I did like the combo for this eyeshadow look, but in general, the probability that you will ever see me wear a nude out and about is very slim to none. I personally will just wear lip gloss before I wear a nude because I feel like they're the same thing. I know they're not, but that's how I feel. So this is the final look. So you guys drop me some DMs, send me some messages, tell me which ones which ones you like, which lipstick color you like better, and let me know if you like this format, if you like me trying on multiple lip colors. I think that's the beauty of makeup. Everybody has their own opinion of what they like and what they dislike, and it's perfectly okay. You don't have to like the same thing I like, or that my next door neighbor like, or that your friend likes, because you were made in the image God created you to be. So with that being said, again, happy birthday to all of my February babies. And I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful birthday and a birthday month, because I know some people celebrate all month long. And happy birthday to my co-worker, my work mom, my current work mom, and to my baby sister who's turning 24 in a couple of days. I know she already started celebrating her birthday already. So happy birthday to my beloved ones, and to everybody else out there who's a February baby. You are also my beloved, and I'm wishing you all the best happiness, you know, love, and health. Most of all, health. Until the next time, you guys, take care.